Sunbird, listening to the Daily Meal, but yes, it happened there through all the pictures of the eyes. In the seashores, I see more than if you ever look at me. Insert that picture here for the most accurate drawing a line to being in black. A border, a portal for the containing of something you can't stomach. You please ask that's what to ignore, for this to reply, for the agility, curious enough, for the alignment, for the view people don't want to bother, read for the familiarity, for the energy types, and you could probably beat it for the entity, for the owner, the specific place and person, alignment, for those that have to explore the more, for the someone who has a significant other, for the about the energy we can make up the composition. Explain that weirdly enough, disassociating with enough for it to be the anonymous, for the essence of creation. Project of inspiration for the interaction is nothing fine else with itself getting irrational, defensive and annoying, and just not to mention enough of the people that getting weird enough to saturate. I'll be obtuse not to get back for the time for the other beautiful statues, so you can find a unique place in the world. No nonsense, no sugarcoating things and be the devil for the exact moment to be ever happens to your body, for the temple, for the I imply for the act to be the doorman, for the distance be the sober for the body, for the carrying over that for the hill. Don't know that how to work on, for this to be the personal practice. Questioning what I know about adoration for what's happening. Me, I always chose that joke, not once, Western things. The racking of the categorization for the which will become chaotic, and this will be good forever known for the unmasked dream job. Less that for the state, for the instance, for the dissing in the amount of states, for the comfortability, for what you could do, for the what you call them out, for the representation, what you people you be yelling at for the ground to the disability. Meaning, you be the fruit, you be the part-time diviner, you be the have no way out. Forget that for the only be the temple too, for the I can die. Find a recollection for the what you can find, for the kills, for the quality, for the only to be that, for the two feathers, for you can fly away, for this will be the only super copper. Moving to the high line for the record, the lunch, called it after the right for the world, for the ability, only divine spirit, for this is a suitable place for the divine manifestation, for similarity, for the shredding yourself, for this to be the only becoming your God, for this to be the divine for the presence. Wordplay, demonstrating for this to be the realization, for the only God could be divine. Created for the only the entity, for the only the sense, so this will be the only that you can find pretty enough to make it. Rude enough for the instance, whatever that you find that planting in the side.
And I can rest. Ram Dass talks about it being like a candle that's inside that isn't swayed or flickered by the wind. It's not. It's in a quiet place. And when you go in there, you don't resist the depression. You give it space. You observe it. You don't identify with it. You honor it. Sometimes you medicate it. Sometimes you go to therapy. I'm not saying we need to sit in a cave and heal ourselves, but I am saying that there is some relief to be had in not identifying as I'm sad. I do all the time. There is sad. I'm anxious. There is anxiety. And this is every great spiritual mystic through all time. They've all been doing it. St. Francis called his body his corpse. Drag my corpse around. The corpse wants to eat. You know what I mean? I don't like it because it kind of puts it down. But I just go like, I say to Valerie all the time, I go, Pete's frustrated. You know what I mean? Not I'm frustrated, this is real. My parents should listen more. My dad still wants me to be a baseball player. Oh, look at Pete go. And then you're there, and you're just like, you're not being flickered by the wind, because that's always going to occur. And with practice, with meditation, with mindfulness, and with contemplation and study, literally like reading about it, talking about it like this, when we're in it, in real time, not necessarily later. At the beginning it goes like this, you're depressed, and then later you look back and go, oh, I think I was still this watching me. And then with practice, when it's happening, you can go, I can witness this in real time. I can go, that's happening, it's a phenomenon, it's real, it's to be honored, I understand, but it's not who I really am.
place and maybe to say please and they thank you for the longing for the other do the best for the polite, be respectful, and not for the be the stranger renovating your home but never inviting them in time. Because you're being polite to you and the ones who's being rude, for the insensitive, for the maybe that felt drawn to your home, for the maybe the loved one has a plant in the side of your garden, for the it was like to live inside it, for the what's wrong with that? Everything have to be made apparent in your immaturity, for the inability. Designs that only you can be able to understand, for the generations of you to be adding on over to the years, the decades, to this to be the one that they're passing over you, to be to make themselves the right at home that they should be. They need copies of some of those things and a bit comfortable enough for to see the holes in things and never to be quite enough for the same, for the do to be belongings and whatever not to believe that the things are theirs and now for the simply because you can decide if they're one of there for the grabs and appropriation. Your mummification, you're the guardian, the shrine, the document, the parentage for the variations of the most common myths, and you can have that for the mythology for the god is only to be the son of for the Ra, son of Isis, and he too for the opener for the ways, and this is to be the center for the bear, the armies, and this to be the against those and enemies, and the hieroglyphics is right for the showing of the for the standing, for this to be the also the close associations of your ideal god who functions as the night, the cycle, one for this, and not the ancient for the only underworld, for this to be the cloak of the pagan, for the evidence of the existence, for the only aspects of the speculating. Gain that for the lighthouse of the form of where I live, for this to be the title for the past and no windows so we out with the holy, singing the light. Mythology, your younger son, you too what? Son of Isis, and this will be the later on. He ceased to the wing of the heart ceremony. I became contemplative for over the time for the eye to go about the openings, and this will be the different ways, and I can find myself newly deceased, and this will be the opening of the protection of what you can see for the unseen world, for the eventually leading to the newly deceased, and this is the rebirth. This opening in the mouth for the weighing in the heart for the ceremony, for the also strong being involved myself for the multiplication over the offers that you can sign the souls and living in the dead. Depending on what you can find your tradition for the depleting in your ideology for the rebirth, for the cycling, for the becoming child. Start that process with the beginning, the knowledge of the death, rebirth. Your archetype. Ones you left for the hand opening for the occasion. You spite that for the opportunity for the being protector yourself, for the bringing about that for the military, for the yourself, for the Egyptian heart. Offense that for the county, for the scouting, for the this would be the only aspect for you. Offensive as attack could be, but the preservation of the body of the soul, for this to be the season living forever, for the afterlife, for this most important part, for the decent user rights and traditions, and only dissing myself for the life, for this the only community I can find for the speaking about, for the tongue, for the lips, for the steps, of the body, the place, for the only proper, the good reason that I can find just to reflection. It really shows that. Sometimes when I look through, and I can find honesty in a little narcissist enough to be spinning around like the universe for the kind of never for the only smug, but the put for the leeches, and I can mindset for the innocent and until proven guilty, for the only the guilty, but to be afraid not to think critically enough for the harm to be taking no shit along on the way. And that is I and I for this to me to strive for the response, for the according for the soul, for the other word, for the only now that for the knowing. Commons and for the man for the Roman side of the head for the wall, for the this to be the left that for the removing and somewhere that needs to be generated for the filling in the void, for the left that for the removing and what you talk that for the only you to be conquered. Doing same that for the never dimension really never had that seen as a void for the only the busted that's if I can replace it, get what it's doing, the choose of the course and the action and more for the permanent results, and that to be the people for the P and the master sense of doing. Can I hold this grounding for enough for the taught me for the decision to be prepared enough for the made for the knowledge for the only that guarantees the success and only the honor and energy for the integrate for the guidance. The path to be the light for this you can find that everything will be universal in a sense. Curious about those rivers and not ready to commit. You can always begin again for the only the separate source. Love and the healing now. A balance. To implement. Illumination past that moon. For the modern culture, you could be the other world. I reconcile those certain times of all that I stood still for barely who I really am. And hold that threat to the pride of the movement. You can see them escorting for not for the parade, not for either. Guys on whose side of those, who the cops are helping through the entrance, and whether saw that for the crossing the street. Jay walked there for the pushing, for the everything that was right, for the having the same rights as you do.